She thought controlling everything would suppress me. I documented the facts, exposing her lies and excuses. A few weeks later, she trembled as she flipped through the documents. Every excuse, every act of hypocrisy was clearly laid bare before her. I, on the other hand, calmly gathered my pride. A week ago, I had a fierce argument with my stepmother at home. "You turned off the lights by mistake again?" my stepmother called from the living room. I didn't look up. I did. I just didn't pay attention to the order. My father frowned and looked up from the sofa. "It's all right, don't argue." "It's all right? You think you can just leave things lying around?" Her voice was sharp. I put down my notebook. "Order doesn't matter, as long as things are tidy. Order matters. There are rules in this house. Do you understand?" She walked to my side, her eyes sharp. I slowly tidied the table. "I understand the rules, but I also understand the boundaries." My father sighed. "Don't argue. Calm down." "Calm down? I'm talking about boundaries." I looked up, our eyes meeting. "Boundaries? You think you can challenge me so easily?" Her finger traced lines in the air. I nodded slightly. "Not a challenge, just laying bare the facts." "Facts? What do you mean?" My father looked at me suspiciously. "Bills, chores, every excuse you use to shirk responsibility. I've kept a record." I gently placed the folder in front of her. Her eyes widened, her voice trembling. How dare you?" "It's not about daring or not. It's the facts," I replied calmly. She stepped back slightly, her hand hovering over the edge of the folder, as if unsure whether to snatch it away or retreat. What are you planning to do with this?" I met her gaze steadily. "Nothing. Not yet. The facts speak for themselves." A few days later, she became cautious. Every action, every word, I silently recorded. "What have you been doing staring at these ledgers lately?" she questioned. "Organizing my things." I answered calmly. "Organizing? Are you investigating me?" Her tone was uneasy, her eyes darting nervously. "Not an investigation, just laying bare the facts." I closed the notebook slowly, letting the words linger in the air. My father shook his head on the sofa. "Stop arguing, really? Calm down? Can calmness cover everything up?" I stared into her eyes. "No, the traces you left are too clear. Every lie, every omission, they're all visible." My stepmother grew increasingly cautious, each word tinged with subtle defensiveness. "Are you going through my files again?" she asked, her gaze fixed on me. "Just organizing," I replied calmly. "Every time you shirked responsibility, every time you lied, I wrote it all down." Her fingers trembled slightly. What are you going to do?" "It's not what I'm going to do. It's the traces you left behind," I said, closing the folder carefully. 12 years of habits always have an echo." My father fell silent. He finally saw the patience I had cultivated over the years, the quiet strength he had never noticed before. One night, she approached my room again. "What exactly are you plotting?" she asked, almost gritting her teeth. "Organizing the facts." I put down the bills in my hand. "You think no one's watching, but someone's been watching all along. You're going to..." Her voice trembled, faltering. "Not punishment, just letting the facts show," I said calmly. Father looked up from the sofa, his brow furrowed. "Stop arguing. Calm down? You think calm can cover everything up?" I retorted. "It can't. The traces you left are too obvious. Every neglect, every lie, every careless act. It's all here. A few weeks later, she completely panicked. "You've compiled all my bills and documents?" She almost screamed, her face pale, hands shaking. "Not all of them, just laying out every single fact." I pushed the folder in front of her. "I've recorded every trace you've never noticed. Every time you tried to hide, every excuse, every evasion. It's all here." Father fell silent, looking at us. He finally understood the gravity of the situation, the quiet accumulation of 12 years of endurance and observation. Her voice began to tremble. You're terrifying." "Terrifying? No, I'm just putting the system to work." I finished tidying up the last ledger. "You think control is your right, but the truth has always been in my hands." Stepmother began to completely lose control. She spoke cautiously, each movement like dodging a trap, each word measured, as if walking through a minefield. You won't make this public, will you?" she pleaded in a low voice, almost a whisper. "Not public, just making the facts visible," I replied calmly. My father stood beside me, silent for a long time, before finally saying, "You've been enduring. I never noticed." I nodded calmly. Enduring isn't giving in. It's just preparing for the right moment. Patience doesn't mean weakness. It means readiness. She began to move closer to me, trying to reconcile, her voice softer now, edged with fear. "Can we talk? We can't stay hostile like this forever, can we?" she whispered. I didn't answer immediately, only calmly organized the files. "You want to talk? Then look at the traces you've left behind first." She froze, her fingers trembling. You kept everything?" "Not everything, just the important parts." I placed the folder in front of her. "Every time you shirked responsibility, every attempt to cover it up, every instance of bullying, I've kept a record." My father finally sat up straight, looking at us, silent, helpless, realizing the depth of the quiet war he had never noticed. She was utterly desperate. "Please, don't let Father see." She knelt, tears welling in her eyes. I shook my head. "I don't ask for forgiveness, and no one will take responsibility for you. The traces you left behind will tell everyone the truth." Father remained silent, his eyes complex, finally understanding my calm and insistence. I packed my things, offering no more explanations, no more arguments, taking only my own dignity. She pleaded, but I ignored her, the door slowly closing. The moment I stepped outside, the winter wind was cold and clear. I didn't look back, walking straight ahead, hands empty of money, devoid of the thrill of revenge, only the calm power of controlling the facts. The family was finally back to balance. My stepmother's fear and my father's belated realization were the result of 12 years of accumulated strength and patience. I took a deep breath, stepping into the winter sunlight. Behind me lay the silent house, every event, every act, every deceit now clearly documented by the facts, unshakable, undeniable, and forever preserved.